I'm Jamie Jensen with John L. Scott Real Estate in Kingston, Washington. Topic today, closing costs. What are those? So often, depending on the price point, lots of buyers ask the seller in their purchase and sale agreement, and that's the time that you have to ask for it, or that you should ask for it, is when you're negotiating the purchase and sale agreement, to have the seller pay the buyer's closing costs. And sometimes buyer's closing costs are like, wait a second, what are those? Why do that comes as a surprise, which it never should come as a surprise. So your real estate broker and your lender should always talk with you about closing costs. So what are closing costs? So if you're getting a mortgage, you're always going to have closing costs related to your mortgage. So your lender has fees that you're going to have to pay. Sometimes as part of your closing costs, you can pay for the appraisal as part of your lender closing costs. Sometimes they ask you to pay it up front. So it's an important conversation to have with your lender about what your fees are going to be at closing that have to be paid at closing. There are other fees for a buyer at closing that include prorated taxes and prorated insurance. So your property taxes have to be paid on a home every year. And so at escrow, those get prorated for you depending on the time of the year that you're in and when they're due. So the same thing with homeowners insurance, that gets prorated for you because money also goes for your property taxes, and your homeowner's insurance gets put into an escrow account with your lender. And that's different than your escrow account for closing. Very complicated. Nonetheless, it's not that complicated, but it's just funny that they use the same name for two things. So you want to think about that. The other thing you have to pay are escrow fees and title fees. So when you're looking at buying a home, sometimes your closing costs can be as much as 2.5% to 3% of your purchase price. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about putting in an offer on a home and ensuring that you have enough cash for not only your down payment, not only your costs related to home inspection and appraisal and those other things, but also that you have the cash available to pay your closing costs. Those are not surprises that you want to get when you get your estimated closing statement a few days before closing, and it's like, whoa, where'd this $9,000 come from, and where's it going to come from? So keep that in mind. Talk to your real estate broker, talk to your mortgage broker as well, or your bank, and make sure that you know and understand what your closing costs are going to be. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Talk to you soon.